I'm really pleased to have been part of that achievement, to start off a tour that is now so successful. My parents played, so I started. There were always golf clubs in the house, and then I got lessons when I was quite young. I loved it straight away, and I would just be practicing all the time. They couldn't get me. They used to say, ring the school and say, she's got to come home, don't let her go on the bus to the golf club, because I would always go down and just hit balls. I was a keen amateur golfer, and suddenly there was an opportunity. Vivian Saunders and a guy called Barry Edwards thought that there was a possibility to set up a tour, and they got Carlsberg to sponsor it. And there were 12 tournaments, and it was £200 first prize for each tournament, and which sounded a fortune to me at the time. And lots of us got sponsored cars and free golf clubs, and we just thought it was a great opportunity. So I was very keen to sign on the dotted line. I went to England coaching with Vivian Saunders. I wanted to copy her. I didn't think I could, but I knew it was possible because I'd seen Vivian Saunders being successful. Quite a few of us went to the Carlsberg factory and signed on the same day, because there weren't many women pros at that time. So if you signed and then there weren't enough to play on the tour, you'd have been a bit stuck. So we all went together. There was a chance I might have played for England if I'd stayed. I'd played at junior level, but I hadn't played at senior level. So yeah, it was a decision, but it was such a good opportunity. And there were good players going to play, and I probably wasn't as good as them, but it was a great opportunity to go and have a go at it. I was amazed that my dad was very keen, because he was a headmaster, so I thought he would want me to stay at school and go to university. But no, he was sort of follow your dreams and have a go at it. I think most people thought nothing would come of it. It was difficult to get it off the ground. I mean, we all had a great time, but it obviously needed to be sold. And I think Laura Davies made a big difference when she came along, because she became a big star, and that's what we needed. We had lots of good players, don't get me wrong, there were lots of good players, but she was, people that didn't play golf knew of Laura, and that gets people interested. So I think she changed it to an extent. Because it was a small tour, we soon got to know each other. And I'd played amateur golf with some of them. It was a fantastic atmosphere. We would go out and play, and then everybody would meet up and have a chat and go through what you'd done wrong. And we were very close and looked out for each other, really, which I think on tour is probably an unusual thing. Well, my most memorable tournament was when I won in Holland, quite a few years after it had started, but that was sort of the biggest tournament I won, so it was the biggest achievement that I had. It was so exciting winning. I'd been in the running to win a few times, but not made it, and I played with Laura Davies in the last round and Lotte Neumann, and I started off with a 3-shot lead in the last round, and I took 7 at the first, and they both had 4s. So by the second tee we were level, and I thought, well, I've blown my chance now. But I settled down and ended up winning by 6 shots, so it was like a dream come true, really. We went in a caravan to that tournament. I played in 3 tournaments, my husband caddied for me. It was great not to be in hotels, and we used to have barbecues with a lot of the players, and it was great fun. So I went to a few tournaments with a caravan, and there was a sort of a group of girls that went with caravans. We did do trips to America and played at Pebble Beach, but in Europe we did a Germany, Holland and France, where the Hennessy was on most years. Waterloo, that's right. And they were fabulous golf courses. And then once in Spain we stayed at the Ritz, because it was sponsored by Rocco Forte. So we had all sorts of special treats like that, which were brilliant. When I finished playing golf as a tournament pro, I decided I wanted a family, so I had 3 children, but I'd got my PGA qualification, so I became a pro at a 9-hole course, and I started teaching. And then I did more teaching, ended up teaching the English ladies teams and the girls teams. And then when my kids were growing up, I thought, well, I can't be away all the time, so I just coached at a local driving range. I have a feeling I might have been the only one that was a mum on tour at the time. And I didn't, once I'd had my children, I obviously, my first one, I managed to go, my parents looked after her, but after a while, you can't keep going away. So if there had been a crash, I would have definitely done more, but there weren't enough people to warrant that. Well, I think the tour now is a very successful tour, and I think the standard is incredible. For young players, you know, they'll be inspired by these girls playing, and they'll want to make a career of it themselves. I like to think I would compete, but they are very, very good. I don't know whether I'd be that good, but I would try, definitely. We didn't probably train as much because it wasn't something that even the men pros didn't train as much. So no, I would never have called myself an athlete. That's certainly not like they are today. I could never have imagined it getting so big. I mean, I suppose I just want it to go from strength to strength and perhaps be 12 months of the year so that it can support a lot more players. And also maybe to encourage younger players to get into golf. It's not as accessible for all youngsters, and it'd be good if it was more accessible. I suppose I am a pioneer of the women's game, but I just enjoyed it. I feel like I was so fortunate to be part of it, so it's not something that has occurred to me. I feel like I was really lucky to be in at the beginning. We got some great trips. My life changed from being, you know, just an ordinary, just working locally to travelling the world really, and meeting so many new people, and it gave me confidence because people at golf clubs often put us up and they would caddy for us, so you chatted to them and you learned so much. It was just a fantastic experience, and yeah, wouldn't change it for anything.